I'm meteorologist Ryan Shoptaw, and here's a look at weather concerns over the next 48 hours. We have a weather impact alert issued for freezing weather incoming Friday afternoon, Friday night, and then through the weekend. That's when you add in precip moisture, and that could lead to ice accumulating on roads, bridges, and overpasses. So the weather impact alert is issued through the weekend. We'll talk more about the hour by hour on timing, not just on temperatures, but on future rainfall and future possibly snow accumulation in far northern parts of the viewing area in West Texas. The latest timeline and more, it is coming up. Okay, and then we will do first weather, which I will not use any current conditions on, and temperature forecast. Hopefully this works, and that should be good. All right. All right. All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey there, meteorologist Ryan Shoptaw with your weather forecast for West Texas. Temperatures are going to get a lot colder over these next several days. What's very likely, very cold, wind chills likely in the teens by Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. So this weekend, significantly colder than normal based on winter standards. What's possible and looking likely as well, some sleet accumulation, some ice. What's possible is some snowfall in some parts of the northern viewing area. We'll show you future timing on that. And what's not likely is a repeat of what happened in 2021. The good news is the moisture, this winter storm moves out pretty quickly by Sunday night and Monday morning. So it's only going to be a couple of days of some very cold weather. So we have winter storm watches posted for the entirety of North and West Texas. Here's what it looks like on future temperatures. So here's tomorrow morning, not bad, lower to middle 40s and some lower 50s when you wake up tomorrow morning. Not bad at all. Mostly quiet conditions. Cloud cover starts to move in during the day tomorrow, and so does the cold air. Watch what happens late tomorrow evening into early Saturday morning. Temperatures go to the lower to middle 30s, upper 20s for our northern counties, and then watch what happens into Saturday night and Sunday morning. These are air temperatures, likely in the teens. And then when you add in the factor of wind speeds behind this cold front, look at the range from, let's say, Saturday into Sunday morning. On average, 15 to 25 mile-an-hour winds. And what that's going to do is lead to wind chills, feels like temperatures between Saturday and specifically Saturday night and Sunday morning, likely in the single digits for some areas in our northern counties. But look at San Angelo, near 9 to 10 on the wind chill early Sunday morning. So as you can see, temperatures are going to fall off rapidly. Now, here's the most important part. Obviously, temperatures very concerning, but the precip, what's going to lead to some ice accumulation between here, Abilene, the I-20 corridor, could start as early as Saturday morning. That'll be the first round, a brief break in activity, but watch what happens Saturday night into Sunday morning. The I-35 corridor, I-10, I-20, going to be blanketed with light to moderate showers, and a lot of this could be a mix and some freezing rain, which again, rain freezes on contact, and that'll be a concern for bridges, overpasses, and any elevated surface. And then look what happens. Moisture moves east pretty quickly. The main concerns, wintry mix, a freezing rain. Some of that snow could move farther south towards I-20 and I-10. Matter of fact, here's what we're looking at for ice potential. Anywhere from a tenth to a quarter is possible in our viewing area of West Texas. And then regarding snowfall, I would say primarily north into Lubbock and Amarillo, as it typically happens this time of year. But some of that dusting could make it farther south towards San Angelo Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. Tomorrow is our weather impact alert, and it continues through Monday morning. High of 55 Friday, and then look at the temperatures. They drop off. Saturday, 26, 10 degrees Sunday morning, a hard freeze, 27 for a high Sunday with an overnight low of 10. Monday morning, temperatures slowly recover by the middle of next week. All right, let's just do a final weather real quick. All right, 3, 2, 1. Here's a final look at weather. Here comes the cold, and it's going to last for several days. High temperatures in the middle 50s Friday, and look at this weekend. It drops off rapidly. We're looking at mid to upper 20s for daytime highs, lows even colder than that. And the main concern for freezing rain, wintry mix, and even a couple of snow flurries will be between Saturday evening and Sunday morning. Skies clear Monday, a low of 10 degrees with the high of 43. That's a hard freeze in the overnight hours. Make sure to check up on your friends and family, neighbors. You're going to want to cover any sensitive vegetation. Also check up on friends and family. I'm going to do that. Redo that. I'm sorry. 3, 2, 1. And here's a look at final weather. This weekend going to be a lot colder, middle 20s for afternoon highs, lows in the teens. Matter of fact, hard freezes expected early Sunday and early Monday morning. By Tuesday and Wednesday, temperatures recover, but it's the next 3 to 4 days where cold Arctic air draws in and stays in place the early part of next week. All right, and then we're going to do one more round of that and we'll be done. So let's do another first weather. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey there, meteorologist Ryan Shoptaw with a quick look at weather and a sneak peek at what's to come the next few days as we head into the weekend time frame. What's very likely, obviously, very cold. Winter storm watches have already been posted for West Texas and North Texas. What's possible? More likely, I would say a sleet and ice accumulation, but what's possible is some snow and a light dusting in some parts of our viewing area. We'll show you the future timing on that in a second. What's not likely, a repeat of what happened 5 years ago. We're not expecting anything to that level. Matter of fact, by Sunday night and Monday morning, the clouds and the moisture moves farther east and we're mostly clear by the early part of next week. So we'll talk more about timing and the hour by hour on rainfall moving into the area. Full forecast and more. It's coming out. Okay, and then let's do this. All right, so we're gonna do main weather. 3, 2, 1. Good evening. I'm meteorologist Ryan Shoptaw with your weather forecast for West Texas. Between San Angelo, Abilene, West Texas, North Texas, and even towards the Panhandle, winter storm watches have already been posted for our viewing area, meaning we're prepping for the cold air. Now, it starts tomorrow gradually, so let's walk you through what happens. Here's tomorrow morning, 6, 7 a.m. Not bad. Middle, upper 40s, lower 50s for morning lows. Pretty normal for this time of year. Watch what happens during the day Friday. So 3, 4, and 5 o'clock. The colder air starts to move through our counties. It'll gradually become windy. Anywhere from 15 to 30 mile-an-hour gusts are possible. Saturday morning, I would say most areas at or below freezing, especially in our northern counties between I-20 and let's say I-10, lower to middle 30s for areas south towards Sonora and Junction. And then all day, Saturday and Sunday, going to be cold, wet, and windy. And then look what happened Saturday night. These are forecast air temperatures, likely in the teens. And then Sunday morning, a little bit colder than that. But more importantly, factor in the wind speeds, 15 to 30 miles an hour Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. It's going to make these air temperatures feel more like the teens and single digits. Matter of fact, by Sunday morning, 3 and 4 a.m., we could see single-digit wind chills across the area. So bundle up. It's going to be very cold for about 48 to 36 hours, and it's not till the early part of next week when we start to see the recovery. All right, let's talk about timecast. So it's mostly cloudy. Friday morning, Friday afternoon rolls around. On and off light to moderate showers, a couple of localized heavier pockets of rain. Friday night, Saturday morning roll around. That's when we could start to see the transition to a wintry mix. Mostly a sleet or freezing rain that falls and freezes on contact because temperatures are at or below 32. And then we'll see a lull in activity and then another round Saturday night into Sunday morning where we could see some of that transition into light dusting of snow pre-dawn Sunday. And then by Sunday night into Monday, we are clearing out, moisture moves away from us, and it's only going to be a couple days of just bitterly cold air in the region. So here's kind of what it looks like. Now this boundary of snow and wintry mix could easily move farther south and north. So we're going to watch that very closely over these next couple of days. Here's the ice potential. Anything above 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of ice accumulating can cause treacherous travel on bridges and overpasses. So please, if you absolutely have to travel, stick to secondary surface roads, frontage roads, things like that, because the icing is going to be a problem. Here's the snow potential. Amarillo, Lubbock, maybe up to 1 to 3 on average, and then a light dusting farther south towards West Texas. Here's your 7-day forecast. High temperatures, middle 50s tomorrow, and then significantly colder Saturday and Sunday. Daytime temperatures don't get out of the 20s this weekend. Hard freeze Sunday morning and early Monday. Temperatures recover by Tuesday and Wednesday. We're back in the 50s. Lows still pretty cold though in the 20s. There's Abilene, a little colder in the lower 20s and upper teens with a morning low of about 8 Monday morning. And then there's those 40s and near 50 by next Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, let's do a final look at weather. 3, 2, and 1. And here's a look at final weather. Temperatures this weekend are going to be the coldest air we've seen so far this season. Middle 20s for lows, teens and single digits when you factor in those wind speeds, 15 to 30 miles an hour across West Texas. Temperatures recover by Tuesday and Wednesday. Back in the 50s, here's Abilene, a little colder on those afternoon highs, lower 20s, 8 degrees forecast for Monday morning. And then again, factor in those winds, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Bundle up, have several layers because this forecast stays very cold through Monday morning and Monday afternoon.